Woke up with heavy legs again this morning. If your feet feel swollen, your ankles leave sock marks, or you're just tired, no matter how much you sleep, you're not alone. I've seen it too many times in my older patients. They think it's just aging, but in many cases, it's their kidneys quietly struggling. Today, I'll show you 6 simple foods that support better kidney filtration and help your legs feel stronger naturally without medication. Just small changes at breakfast or lunch can bring real relief. If you believe it's never too late to feel stronger, type hope in the comments. Let's take that first step together. If you find this helpful, hit subscribe to catch more simple health tips made just for you. Have you ever looked down at your feet in the evening and seen your socks leaving deep marks around your ankles? That's not just from sitting too long. That could be your kidneys waving a little red flag. See, I've had patients come to me and say, "Doc, my legs just feel heavy, like I'm dragging weights around all day." They didn't trip. They didn't strain anything. But the swelling, the tightness, it crept in quietly, just like how kidney trouble usually does. Now here's the surprise, something as simple as a small handful of red grapes eaten in the morning can start to make a difference. Yes, red grapes, not pills, not some fancy powder, just a bunch of juicy, crisp red grapes like the ones you'd find at your grocery store. Let me explain why. Red grapes are loaded with something called resveratrol. Now, don't worry about that word. All you need to know is that it helps your blood vessels relax and your kidneys filter better. It's like giving your kidneys a breath of fresh air. And when your kidneys are working better, guess what? Your body gets rid of extra water. That means less swelling, less pressure, lighter legs. There was a study I read from a university back east where older adults added grapes to their morning meals. Within weeks, they felt less puffiness in their legs, slept better, and even had more energy to walk. It's not magic. It's nature. Real food helping your body do what it was meant to do. If you've ever had trouble putting your shoes on because your feet feel tight, or if walking up the porch steps leaves you winded, this is your body asking for a little help. And a small bowl of grapes could be just the beginning. Now, here's how I tell my patients to use them. Pick red or purple grapes, the darker the better. Wash them up about 25-30 into a bowl. That's roughly 1 cup. Eat them with your breakfast or even as a mid-morning snack. Chew them slowly. Enjoy that juicy burst. Avoid grape juice, though. It's too concentrated and it doesn't give you the fiber your body needs. Want to keep things fun? Try freezing the grapes. They make a perfect summer treat like little sorbet bites. Or toss them into your morning oatmeal or yogurt. Let me tell you about Susan. She's 72 from Boise, Idaho. Used to be a teacher, came to see me complaining of nighttime leg cramps and puffy ankles. We talked about simple changes. One of them was adding grapes to her morning. Nothing fancy, just real food. 3 weeks later, she came back smiling. "I walked around the whole farmer's market," she said. "Didn't need to sit down once." That's the kind of change that matters. So if you've got grapes in your fridge, go ahead, grab a handful tomorrow morning. Give it a try for 1 week. See how your legs feel. And if you don't have any, maybe add them to your next shopping list. Quick question for you. Have you ever felt that tight sock line on your ankle by the end of the day? If so, maybe it's time to listen to your body and let something as simple as a grape help you out. Let's move on because the next food on our list is small, crunchy, and packs a powerful punch for both your joints and your kidneys. Curious? Keep watching. You know that bloated, heavy feeling in your belly, even when you haven't eaten much? That might not be your stomach. It could be your kidneys telling you they're having a hard time keeping up. Let me tell you something simple, something comforting. Sometimes relief doesn't come in a pill bottle. It comes in the form of a warm bowl of cauliflower soup. Yes, cauliflower, that pale, quiet vegetable sitting in the produce section that most folks walk right past. But here's the thing, cauliflower is one of the most kidney-friendly vegetables out there. It's gentle, it's light, and it quietly does a big job. It helps your body clear out what shouldn't be staying inside. It gives your kidneys a little break, like setting down a heavy bag you didn't even realize you were carrying. Cauliflower is low in potassium, which is important if your kidneys are starting to slow down. It also has natural compounds that help calm down swelling and reduce the burden on your system. Think of it as a soft sponge, soaking up what needs to go and giving back what your body can actually use. And you don't have to take my word for it. There was a simple study, nothing flashy, just everyday folks like you and me. Seniors added cauliflower to their meals 3 times a week. Not huge amounts, just a serving here, a soup there. Within a month, they noticed something small but powerful, less puffiness, lighter steps, fewer nighttime bathroom trips. Now I want to stop for a second and ask, have you ever gotten up in the middle of the night 3, maybe 4 times just to pee? That's not just normal aging. That's your body waving a white flag. So here's my tip, and I give this to my own family. Steam or saute cauliflower with a little olive oil, garlic, and maybe a squeeze of lemon. That's it. No fancy seasonings, no salt, just comfort food that hugs you from the inside. Don't overcook it. When cauliflower is boiled too long, it loses some of the good stuff your body needs. Think tender, not mushy. If chewing is a concern, you can mash it like potatoes. Add a touch of unsalted butter. It's creamy, warm, and kind to your belly and your kidneys. Want something fun? Try cauliflower rice. Just chop it fine, saute it lightly, and add it under a piece of grilled chicken or in a veggie bowl. I've even had patients add a pinch of turmeric, gives it a lovely color and a little boost for your joints too. Let me share about Carol. She's 68 lives in Dayton, Ohio. Sweet lady. She told me her belly felt tight by evening and she was constantly running to the bathroom after dinner. We made one small change. She swapped out her regular dinner starch with a simple cauliflower dish. Not every night, just 3 times a week. When she came back, her eyes lit up. I slept through the night, she said, first time in months. That to me is a bigger victory than any number on a chart. So if you're wondering what to do next, maybe tonight try adding some cauliflower to your plate. Roast it, steam it, mash it, however you like it. And if you've got grandkids coming over, mash it with a bit of garlic and tell them it's magic potatoes. They'll love it, and you'll be doing something kind for your own body too. Now stick with me because the next food is small, sweet, and could be the reason your legs cramp up less at night. You ever notice your shoes feeling tighter in the afternoon, even though they fit just fine in the morning? That quiet swelling in your feet. It's not just from standing too long. It might be a little whisper from your kidneys. And sometimes the answer to that whisper comes in a small, deep blueberry. Blueberries. Sweet, juicy, and honestly one of the most powerful super helpers for both your kidneys and your legs. Now, I don't throw words like superfood around, but blueberries, they've earned it. Not because they're trendy, but because they work quietly behind the scenes, kind of like your kidneys, helping clean your blood, calm inflammation, and keep your tiny blood vessels strong. Let's make this simple. Your kidneys filter your blood. That blood travels through tiny tubes and vessels, some of them thinner than a strand of hair. If those vessels get stiff, inflamed, or clogged, your kidneys have to work harder. And that's when swelling shows up in your feet, your ankles, and sometimes even your face. Now here's where blueberries come in. They're packed with something called antioxidants. Again, you don't need to memorize that word. Just know that they help protect those tiny tubes. Think of them like little shields, stopping damage before it starts. And the best part, they do this without you needing a prescription. No side effects, no pills. I read about a study, I believe it was a small clinic out in Oregon, where older adults added half a cup of blueberries to their breakfast each day. Nothing else changed, just berries. After 3 weeks, folks reported sleeping better, having fewer bathroom trips at night. And this one's my favorite, their legs didn't feel as full or tight by bedtime. Half a cup, That's about a small handful. Toss them in oatmeal, blend them into a smoothie, or just eat them straight from the fridge, nice and cold. They're naturally sweet, so you won't crave sugary snacks as much either. Now, one thing to be careful of, avoid blueberry muffins or packaged blueberry snacks. Those are usually just sugar and food coloring. You want real berries. Fresh is best, but frozen works fine too. Just check, there's no added sugar. Let me tell you about John. He's 73, lives up in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Vietnam vet, strong guy, but he told me he started noticing his legs getting tight by mid-afternoon. He said, "Doc, I don't feel sick, but something's off." We added blueberries to his mornings, plain and simple, a handful with his eggs. 2 weeks later, he told me I walked the whole park loop without needing to rest on the bench. That park loop used to feel endless. Sometimes the smallest things make the biggest difference. Now let me ask you this, do your ankles feel tighter when you get home from errands? Have you seen sock marks around your skin? That's a little clue your body might be holding on to more fluid than it should. And your kidneys, they're asking for a little support. So tomorrow morning before you pour that second cup of coffee, grab a small bowl of blueberries. Just a handful. Try it for a week. See how you feel. And if you're the type who loves a challenge, write it down each day. How do my feet feel tonight? You might be surprised. And keep listening because the next food is crunchy, tiny, and just might be the missing mineral your legs have been begging for. Ever been jolted awake by a cramp in your leg that feels like it came out of nowhere? You know, the kind, sharp, sudden grabs your calf or your foot and leaves you rubbing it for 5 minutes in the dark. It's not just annoying, it's exhausting. And for some of us, it happens night after night. But here's a little secret I love to share with my older patients. Sometimes the fix comes in something no bigger than your fingernail pumpkin seeds. Tiny, crunchy, and full of goodness. These little seeds are packed with minerals your muscles absolutely love, and especially magnesium and zinc. These are like the oil in a car engine. Without them, things tighten up, stop working smoothly and well. That's when you get those nasty cramps. Most people don't realize that as we get older, our bodies don't hold on to magnesium the way they used to. And if we're not eating foods that bring it in, we start to feel it in our legs, our sleep, and even our moods. Now, there was a small trial done at a senior center, I think it was down in Georgia, where participants added just 2 tablespoons of pumpkin seeds each morning. Some sprinkled them on oatmeal. Others just ate them plain. After about 2 weeks, over half said their nighttime cramps eased up and they felt steadier on their feet in the morning. It's that kind of small shift that can make your whole day better. But not all pumpkin seeds are created equal. You want the plain ones, no salt, no sugar, not roasted in oil, just raw or lightly toasted. And here's the trick, soak them overnight in a little water. It softens them up, makes them easier to digest, and helps your body absorb the minerals better. I like to keep a small jar of soaked seeds in the fridge. In the morning, scoop out 2 tablespoons. Add them to a bowl of Greek yogurt mix into a smoothie, or just eat them with a spoon. You'll be surprised how satisfying they are. Crunchy but not hard. Nutty but not bitter. Let me tell you about Bill. He's 66, lives just outside Reno, Nevada. Big on gardening, but lately he'd been waking up with leg cramps so bad he had to sit up for 20 minutes just to get back to sleep. He wasn't too keen on taking more pills. So we tried something different. I handed him a small pack of pumpkin seeds and said, "Let's start here." A week later he called. "Doc," he said, "I slept straight through last night. First time in months." That is the kind of thing that fills my heart. Now you might be thinking, I'm not sure I'd like the taste. Totally fair, but here's an idea. Toast them gently in a dry pan just until they pop a little. Add a tiny pinch of cinnamon if you want something sweet, or a dash of garlic powder for savory. They're surprisingly versatile. And if you're worried about price or availability, don't be. Most grocery stores carry raw pumpkin seeds in the bulk section. And if they're out, sunflower seeds are a decent backup, just not quite as rich in magnesium. So here's your gentle challenge tomorrow morning before your toast or cereal. Try 2 spoonfuls of soaked pumpkin seeds, just once a day for 1 week. Then check in with your legs. Are they feeling steadier? Fewer cramps, better sleep, and don't go anywhere. The next food might just be sitting in your pantry already. And it's got tiny bones that do something amazing for your joints. Did you ever notice a twinge in your knee when you stand up after dinner? That little snap or ache isn't just getting old. Sometimes it means your joints are asking for a bit more support, like a gentle hug. Today, let's talk about something simple, smart, and surprisingly powerful: canned salmon with bones. Yes, the kind you might find on your shelf quietly waiting. But those soft little bones are full of things your joints and knees absolutely love. You see, bones in canned salmon turn into soft gelatin and natural calcium. It's almost like giving your joints a little bit of the building blocks they need to stay strong and flexible. Think of it as giving your knees a nice cushion without fancy supplements or pills. Let me tell you how I share this with my patients. Imagine Susan, 75, from Sacramento. She used to wince climbing the 2 steps into her front porch. She said, "It's like my knees remember when they were young, but something's holding them back." She didn't want more pain meds, and I understood. I suggested she try canned salmon with bones twice a week, just a small portion, about 3 ounces. She opened that can, mashed the whole thing gently, skin, bones and all, into her salad or on toast. No bones cracking in her mouth, just smooth texture. Within 3 weeks, she came back glowing and said, "I went up the steps with ease and even sat through the church service without shifting in my seat." That's the kind of change that fills your heart. Now you might wonder, is that enough nutrition? According to simple research, nothing fancy, just small studies on older adults adding canned fish with bones can boost calcium and protein intake. And you don't need a lot. It's eating smart without making cooking complicated. Let me break it down into how I walk family through it. Open 1 can drain the water and gently flake it. Mix it with a little mashed avocado or cream cheese, maybe a squeeze of lemon, and spread it on a piece of whole wheat toast. Or toss it on top of a green salad for extra flavor and ease. It's salty rich and yet super easy. And here's a pro tip: look for low sodium versions if sodium is a concern, or rinse quickly under cold water. Some folks shy away from canned anything, but I always say quality matters more than packaging. If you're worried, choose a BPA-free lining and look for wild-caught labels. And if canned salmon isn't available or feels pricey, canned sardines with bones do a similar job. They're smaller but still loaded with those same nutrients. Here's a question for you. Have you ever sat down to eat and thought, "I wish my knees didn't fuss quite so much"? If so, maybe this could help. And because stories make things stick, here's Bill, 68, from Reno. He'd been afraid to kneel and play with his grandkids. He told me, "I want to garden again without wincing." He started eating canned salmon twice weekly. A month later, he said, "I got down on my knees to plant tomatoes and stood back up almost without noticing." That's not just a meal, it's a moment. So tomorrow when you're at the grocery store, pass by the chips aisle and pick up a can of salmon instead. Keep it in your pantry. Try it this week just once and let your knees feel the difference. Stick around, because up next is something sweet tart cherry juice that might help with those evening aches too. Have you ever woken up with stiff legs after a simple evening walk? That deep achiness isn't just getting old. It can be your body telling you it needs a little extra care, something gentle, natural, and comforting. Let's talk about tart cherry juice, a small glass of nighttime relief that carries a potent promise. Picture this: a warm lamp by your bedside, a comfy chair, and a half cup of this vibrant juice before bed. It's not medicine, it's a simple, natural boost that soothes your muscles and helps you wake with lighter legs. Why does it work? Inside these cherries are molecules called anthocyanins, kind of like nature's little repair crew. They help quiet the inflammation that builds up after walking or standing all day. Imagine having tiny peacemakers calming things down while you sleep. A study from a community in Michigan found that older adults who sipped 6 ounces of tart cherry juice every night had fewer aches in their legs, slept more soundly, and even felt less stiff in the morning. 6 ounces, that's a small glass, right? For something so simple to bring such relief. Maybe you've noticed your legs feeling tight by bedtime, or maybe you're fumbling slightly on the stairs. That tight, heavy feeling could ease with a little help from tart cherries. Here's how I guide my loved ones. Pick up a bottle of unsweetened tart cherry juice, no added sugar. Measure out 6 ounces, roughly 3/4 of a coffee mug, and sip it about 30 minutes before lights out. No chaser needed, just that vibrant, tangy flavor, serving as your evening reset. And if tart cherry juice isn't available, cherry concentrate mixed with water will do just fine. Be mindful, some bottled versions can be sweetened. Stick with pure forms. The goal is the natural goodness in the juice, not extra sweeteners. If you prefer, freeze it into ice cubes and pop a couple into warm tea for a cozy twist. Meet George, 69, from Tampa, Florida. A lifelong gardener, but he told me his legs felt stiff after digging beds all day. He was starting to worry about how that might slow him down. When he added tart cherry juice to his nightly routine, he didn't feel a difference overnight. But after a week, he told me, "Doc, my legs feel more relaxed in the morning. I'm back to kneeling in the dirt without that tightness." And those moments in his garden made his eyes shine again. Such a small change with big impact. Let me ask, do you ever feel stiff the morning after a walk or chores? If so, this might be a gentle solution in reach. Try it tonight, just 6 ounces. See how your body responds. You might be surprised. And here's a reminder for all of us, natural doesn't mean weak. Sometimes the gentlest helpers, like tart cherry juice, bring the most powerful comfort. Your legs deserve that gentle care. Tomorrow, when you're thinking about what to drink before bed, reach for that cherry juice. Let it be your evening ritual. And next, I've got one more simple choice, a habit you can weave into your daily routine for stronger legs and healthier kidneys. Before we go, I just want to remind you what we talked about today wasn't anything fancy. Just simple, natural choices that can make your kidneys stronger and your legs feel lighter. And sometimes it's those gentle changes that bring the biggest difference in how we feel each day. If something in this video gave you hope, comfort, or even just one helpful idea, I'd love to hear it. Go ahead and write down what touched you most, or simply type the word hope in the comments. It means a lot to know we're walking this path to better health together. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell so you don't miss our next videos, and feel free to share this with a friend or loved one who could use a little boost today. As you go about your day, I hope you feel a little more in control, a little more encouraged, and that your steps feel lighter tomorrow than they did today. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.